Welcome to Fame Flow, where every story reveals a hidden desire, a crossdresser's identity, true emotions. Heartiest wishes to all my crossdresser sisters for the upcoming Janmashtami festival. Today we have brought such a story, where the softness of the peacock feather, the sweet tune of the flute, and the soft image of makeup all together create a glimpse of the eternal love of Sri Radharani and Sri Krishna. So come, this Janmashtami, be a witness to the saga of unbreakable and pure love of a crossdresser, where there is only love in the sound of every anklet, the fragrance of every garland, and every smile. The sweet chime of the temple bells mingled with the velvety evening air, heavy with the fragrance of jasmine flowers. The fair was being held a day after Raksha Bandhan. Colorful scarves fluttered in the breeze, while the notes of the flute and the rhythm of the cymbals bathed the atmosphere in devotion. In this sacred and devotional setting, I, Mayur, was, for today, Meera, hiding from the world in a quiet, holy corner of the temple. Draped in a light yellow sari with a red border, a small forehead dot, and pearl earrings swaying from my ears, in this form, no one could have guessed that beneath these silken layers was someone born a boy. I was simply Meera, the one who felt true when she saw herself in the mirror, yet false in the outside world. The temple was bustling with people. Women arranged flowers in their decorated plates, children savored ghee-soaked sweets, and the elderly offered fresh green basil leaves. I, too, stood in the queue for the prayer ritual, subtly adjusting my scarf so that no one could discern my real identity. Just then, my eyes met his. He was standing on the other side of the crowd, wearing a white traditional tunic with a yellow sandalwood mark on his forehead. His eyes, no, to be precise, his very first glance, went straight to my heart. There was no question, no doubt in that look. It felt as though someone had truly seen me for the very first time, beyond the clothes, beyond the name, beyond the face. He smiled at me. I was startled by that smile. I lowered my gaze, just as Sri Radha had when she first saw Sri Krishna among the cowherd maidens, and a strange wave stirred in my heart. I was in my cross-dressing persona at that moment, so I told myself, no, Meera, this is just a glance. It's dangerous for me to dream such dreams right now. But then, during the prayer ritual, when the bells rang and everyone lifted their hands holding lit lamps, my eyes met his once again. This time, he didn't speak with his lips, but his eyes spoke everything. I recognize you, from your heart. At that moment, in the crowded temple, I was no longer alone. I felt as though I were like Sri Radha, concealing my true self, lost in the crowd, and he, my dark, enchanting Sri Krishna, who recognized me not through others, but straight from my heart. I learned his name much later, Raj, but to be honest, from that day on, I began to hear my own name in his eyes far more than I ever heard his on his lips. The atmosphere in the temple courtyard was deeply devotional. The air was filled with the fragrance of various flowers, and the sound of conch shells and bells echoed all around. I, Meera, was decorating a pot with pearls and colorful threads, holding marigold and jasmine flowers in both my hands. Every pearl, every color, seemed connected to some joyful corner of my heart. Then, Raj arrived, his smile seemed to go straight into my heart. Without saying a word, he took the flowers from my fingers and began stringing them into a garland. We were preparing the swing. He would spread a yellow cloth over the green seat, and I would adorn it with colorful trims and borders. Our hands brushed against each other many times, and each time, it felt as though a flute began to play in my mind. A flute that only the two of us could hear, just like the melody of unspoken love between Sri Radha and Sri Krishna. Sometimes Raj would teasingly wipe the sweat from my forehead, and sometimes he would lean down to adjust my scarf. There was a sense of belonging in his eyes, a belonging so deep that even the truth of me being Meera had dissolved into it and found acceptance. It felt as if a sweet melody was flowing through every small conversation, every touch. I thought that perhaps this was the dance of the soul, when two people can understand the language of each other's heart without the need for words. One day, the temple courtyard was quiet, as if even the wind had paused to witness our sweet togetherness. The swing festival had passed, and I, Meera, was sitting alone, with a storm raging in my heart. For so many days, I had been just Meera in front of Raj, but the truth of Mayur, hidden behind Meera, was now eating me from within. There was fear in my heart, the fear of my truth. What would happen if I told him everything today? Would he leave me? Would the affection in his eyes turn to hatred in a single moment? But then, my mind whispered, true love can only stand upon truth. In true love, there is no place for lies. With trembling words, I said, Raj, there's something I want to tell you, something I've hidden until now. My real name is Mayur. I am a man who lives his identity and femininity through this form. For a few moments, there was silence. I couldn't look into his eyes, afraid he might turn away and leave. But instead, he gently held my face in his hands, and his voice was as steady as the long, lingering note of a flute, Meera, or Mayur, to me, you are still the same. My love is not for your appearance, but for your soul. The one I love is not your form, but your heart, and that will never change. Hearing Raj say this, tears began to flow from my eyes, but they were not tears of fear. They were tears of relief and belonging, the kind perhaps I had once felt in some lifetime, in the union of Sri Radha and Sri Krishna. That day, there were grand preparations for Janmashtami in the village temple. I wore a red and pink flared skirt, a golden bordered shawl, and a necklace of sparkling pearls around my neck. As I looked at myself in the mirror, a strange mix of nervousness and pride filled my heart. I was deeply proud of being a crossdresser, yet I knew that the moment I stepped outside, many eyes would question my existence. Is this a boy or a girl? Some would have taunts on their lips, others laughter in their eyes. But today, he was with me, my own. He had told me, today, we won't just wear costumes. Today, we will live the love that Sri Radha and Sri Krishna taught the world. When the two of us stepped into the temple's tableau, the priest blessed us, and the sweet, melodious tune of the flute filled the air. The whispers of the crowd slowly began to fade. I had taken the form of Sri Radha Rani, and he had become my Krishna. As our eyes met, our steps began to move in perfect rhythm. The tinkling of anklets, the beat of tiny dancing bells, and the sweet sound of the flute lifted the atmosphere to another world. People who had been whispering about us just moments earlier were now watching, mesmerized. Their eyes held emotions instead of questions. In that moment, there was no boy or girl, only two souls dancing in the language of love, devotion, and acceptance. When the dance ended, the crowd greeted us with thunderous applause, and I understood, societal barriers may be strong, but when the heart triumphs, every voice falls silent. Amidst the crowd in the temple, with the sound of the prayer bells ringing and the fragrance of sandalwood filling the air, I stood before my love, Raj, lightly holding the hem of my long flared skirt, my eyes lined deeply with dark kohl. Today, there were no labels, no question of boy or girl, only two souls who had found their home in each other. He took my hand and said softly, I don't care about your appearance, your clothes, or your identity. I want you. I want your soul. There was a depth in his eyes that felt as though it had been waiting for years to soothe every restlessness within me. That day, I understood this was the same union that Sri Radha found in Sri Krishna, and Sri Krishna found in Sri Radha. A love without conditions, without limits, only complete acceptance and belonging. Together, we decided that we would no longer care about the world. We would live a relationship simply in the name of love, love that is not bound by rules, society, or identity. When flower petals rained down upon us in the temple courtyard, I felt as if, in the heavens above, Sri Radha Rani and Sri Krishna were watching our story, and perhaps blessing us that our bond too would remain eternal, like theirs. In that moment, I was no longer just a crossdresser. I was simply a lover who had found her Sri Radha, or her Sri Krishna, forever. Tell us in the comments how you liked the story, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.